Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who has spared our life till now. Glorify His name, testify to His oneness and uniqueness, and to the messengership of our new Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. May the peace and blessing be upon him, his household, his companion, and those treading the path of healthy life to the day of resurrection. In continuation of our lecture on my mental health, we have looked at health, mental health, the importance of health, healthy life, living an healthy life in Islam. And we have looked at the concept of mental health among the Western scholars, the psychoanalytic scholars, the behavioral scholars in psychology, the humanistic scholars in psychology, biological, and we have looked at mental health in Islam. We are looking at some of the factors that are responsible for mental health conditions. Scholars are of the opinion that when we are looking at mental health, we should look at it holistically. So there is a model suggested, and that model is about psychosocial-spiritual model. So this is what we are discussing. We have looked at the biopsychosocial-spiritual. The bio is the biological factors that might lead to mental health issues. Look at the biological factor. We are looking at the issue of the genetics, the genes that might be related to mental health, cause mental health issue conditions. Looking at the neurochemistry, imbalances in neurotransmitter and hormones. Looking about the brain structure as might affect our mental health. That's biological. Talking about the issue of the psycho there, and that is talking about the thought pattern. Negative thoughts might lead to mental health problem. Looking at the emotion regulation, how do one regulate his or her emotion can cause mental health condition. So this is purely psychological. Even personality traits. Narcissistic personality have is vulnerable. Having a lot of mental health because so much about himself, personal self, and he also knows to the extent that even he will not know that he is so much about himself. Also, when we're talking about the issue of the social aspect, biopsychosocial, the social aspect factor that can lead to mental health issue. We're talking about the issue of the family dynamics, the relationship that exists in the family and lead to any mental health issue in the family. Also, we're talking about the issue of the one or two relationship, the social support within the family. So today we are looking at the spiritual aspect, about psychosocial spiritual model. I talk about the issue of the spiritual aspect of the mental health issue. Scholars of the period they have key components of this spiritual aspect. And number one is we talk about the key aspect. We talk about the issue of meaning making. To what extent and that's when we are talking about the issue of the purpose of life, the importance of life. Spiritually, people believe that why am I living a certain head? I want to say the scholars, Victor Frankl, that is talking about this of meaning, logotherapy. Yeah, we also have meaning center therapy. So it's looking at the meaning of life generally, the way we have seen life, and what does it mean to us? What are those things that are meaningful to us in this life? What are those things that are not meaningful to us in life? This concept is spiritual and can lead to a state of mental health. Can cause it if we misconstrue or misunderstand the purpose of life, the meaning of life. And that's one of the spiritual aspects of the biopsychosocial spiritual model in mental health issue. Also, we'll be talking about the issue of the sense of connection as spiritual. Connection to something that is greater than oneself. Those that lay claim to spirituality, lay claim to religious, have something that they are connected to. Their connection with this thing and their level of connection with this thing might mar or make their mental health conditions. Some they are connected to God Almighty, Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Some they are connected to Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Some they are connected to non-living things, or Shun, or Mumila, some to cow and the likes. So the sense of connection is spiritual to something that is greater, that you believe that is greater than you, that has something supernatural power over you, also determines one's mental health issue. Also is the spiritual struggle. Your effort to develop yourself spiritually based on your understanding, based on your belief. On your belief also determines that. Also, the spiritual journey that one make, spiritual practices, your prayers, your meditation, your fasting, your victory, your remembrance of God, something you chant. These are, you have different beliefs in different religions as regards the spiritual practices. So the level of your spiritual practice also determines the level of your mental health, the condition of your mental health issue. And also, lastly, as a key component of the spiritual aspect of a mental health issue is the social support. Social support you get from your spiritual, your religious community. Strengthen one can make one's spiritual mental health condition and can mar one's mental health condition. These are core key components of spiritual in the biopsychosocial spiritual model of mental health issues. So we're talking about the issue of what? One, the meaning of life, purpose of life. Two, you're talking about the issue of the sense of connection, talking about spiritual struggle, talking about the spiritual practices, we talk about the issue of social support you get from spiritual aspect of life. And that we talk about the issue of life. Now in our next talk, we look at the issue of Islam now. Streamline it. We are talking about spiritual generally. Islam as a religion, Islam as a means of spiritual upliftment.